For many of you, you've known that my show's been, the classroom has been censored. Why? I don't violate any rules, but it's called misinformation. And this misinformation is proven in PubMed.gov. It's been around for thousands of years, but today, I want to take a stand and say I am grateful to be able to post this without a tag of misinformation because all of you who are in pain, that are experiencing things in their body, rashes, autoimmune conditions, are going to be thrilled to learn about the FlexBeam. And I'm going to turn it on really quick here because the FlexBeam is something that I use every night. I use it for my wellness, for my own wellness. And it has the warm, soothing red light that goes, let me just put it on here. It's a warm red light. I don't know if you can see it. I'm wearing red today for the red light therapy, and it is amazing. It is an amazing tool that will help you heal and recover from conditions that you may not know can use this technology. And if you, I am just really excited that we have Dr. Zulia Frost. Not only is she an MD, she's a doctor of Chinese medicine and acupuncture certified. And she has been instrumental in teaching about red light therapy. So today, you're going to take get your paper and pencil because we're going to take lots of notes and learn how this tool, this simple little tool that is so easy to use, can be life-changing.
And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
Hi, my name is Lily McDermott, and I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified holistic cancer coach and the host of the Lillian McDermott radio show Classroom. If this is the first time you're turning into the classroom, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide natural ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Yes, as I said, red light therapy. I'm wearing red light today, red color red, so that you can remember how simple this technology is. I've been using it every day, every night, anytime I'm in pain, anytime I learned red light therapy can help with this issue. What I love about the FlexBeam is that it's flexible. You can put it in any part of your body. I just started attaching this because I've been following the protocol for sleep, which requires you to put the FlexBeam on your back. And so that I don't have to worry about it falling off, I've got it secured around my hips so that it won't fall off. This technology is amazing. And when you go to whenyounneedafriend.com and you click on the FlexBeam or you click on the Shop Now bag, you can, whatever special they have going on, which they have a good one now, you get an extra $10 off when you enter code Lillian McDermott. And so, and I am excited to tell you more and learn more with Dr. Zulia Frost. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Dr. Zulia Frost is here to do just that. Welcome back and Happy New Year, Dr. Frost.
Thank you so much, Lillian, for inviting me. I'm thrilled to be connected and to be able to talk about red light therapy, educate your listeners to understand the benefits of that seemingly simple method, but very powerful.
It is. It really is. And so I'm grateful to you. But you know, last time you came in the classroom, it was like during the holidays and it was just so crazy busy. So I wanted people to understand that have this New Year commitment, I don't call it resolutions, about getting healthy naturally without taking it. Because every time we take a pill, it might help with one thing, but it causes and creates three other symptoms that you need other pills. I'm not against the pill, but short term, It might help, but long term, it doesn't solve the problem. So last time you came in the classroom, one of my things was I wanted to go right deep into it, but let's talk about red light therapy. How long has red light therapy, far infrared, near infrared have been around, and what we should know before we dive in and do our own research?
Oh, thank you. It's a very, very good question because once you understand the history, you understand, aha, that's where it came from. Well, to start with, historically, we all use sunlight for healing. And historically, the prehistoric societies or even 1800, 1900 societies, they used this red light coming from the sun for treatment of, for example, tuberculosis. But of course, really, when it's all kicked in, it's around 60s. And that came to be after research using ruby lasers. And that was research done by Endre Mester. He was Hungarian doctor who wanted to prove that that laser might be causing cancers. So he was using on mice in and worried that it might cause cancer. But in the end, what happened, the mice actually, the fur which was shaved for their surgery, regrew so quickly. And there was no side effects. And he was so thrilled. And this probably around 60s when it's all kicked in with lasers. And of course, there was a helium neon laser first. But then we learn about LEDs, diodes, laser diodes, and lasers dominated probably even up to now. Everybody know low level laser therapy at the low intensity lights coming from laser. But what happened in 90s that NASA doing research, the scientists were doing research on plants, and the scientists had some injury to the hands, and it like immersed with red lights working with plant, and suddenly that injury on the hand started to heal so fast. So obviously, being a scientist, he made the connection and thought, okay, there is something in it. And then there was a unfolding series of research in NASA dedicated to study how red light affect human beings. And from that part, that's where LEDs technology kicked in, because they used the LED red lights. But of course, like technology nowadays, you see, it's so fast, developing so fast. So what happened next is that LEDs become much more clear, very powerful, with very little loss of energy and much more efficient. So right now, everything become under the umbrella of photobiomodulation, or stimulation of the human body with very low intensity light. And this umbrella term covers using both lasers and LEDs. So from this point, what you need to understand is that light which coming from laser and LEDs are the same spectrum as sunlight. This is exactly the same what you receiving from when sun shines. Then you'd say, oh, why don't I just go and be in the sun? And yes, to be in the sun is actually very healthy and very beneficial. This is your energy, healthy lifestyle right there. But not many people can afford being in the sunshine, and especially in where I live, northern hemisphere, it's a winter, and you hardly see the sunshine. Yes, this is one thing. But also to know that when we use devices to shine the same spectrum of lights, this device is much more potent. So let's say 10 times more potent than sunshine, because then it's become therapeutic. So in a sense, when we talk about this sunlight, I just mentioned word spectrum. Spectrum, that means a different wavelengths which the sun shine in. And we're familiar with those. We know about UV lights because we know UV lights, it's could be dangerous, but it also very good for you, because under UV lights you develop vitamin D. And you know about blue, light, green, because you could see it with your eyes, yellow, red. And then there is another spectrum. It's called infrared light. And infrared light consists of three parts. The very close to red will be called near infrared. And this is most interesting for us in this talk today concept. And then if you go further, the wavelengths become longer and they become mid-range, far-range infrared. So from what we need to know about red and infrared, most important that in the body, we have receptors for these lights. And these receptors capture red and infrared light in mitochondria. For most people, nowadays, people quite educated about mitochondria. They understand this is organelle living in the cell, which makes energy for the cell. And so when you shine red and near-infrared lights, what you do, you speed up the engine of mitochondria, so you make more energy. And this is really priceless because many conditions linked, especially those with fatigue, linked to broken or insufficiently working mitochondria. So if we start talking about the infrared light, when we go further in the spectrum, this infrared light is absorbed in the body by water molecules, your water. And remember, you 70, 80, hopefully 80% water in your body. Then you bind that energy from lights, from sunlight or the devices with your water body. What it makes you energized, but it also makes you hot. That's why because the water heating has heating effect. So, I mean, this is great, and it's really used very well in infrared saunas or infrared heaters. You heard of those, yes? So, but really for therapeutics, it's not that great because if you have inflammation, you shouldn't be hitting the inflammation because it makes it more. Best to stick to red and infrared because in this case, you can cool down your inflammation, but still have benefits of energizing your body.
That that is great. I am, because when you're saying the near infrared, there's red light, which is infrared. Then there's near infrared and far infrared. So the near infrared is a cooler light, and then the far infrared is the hot, the warm. You have to go deeper into the body, into the skin area, right? Did I get that correct?
I actually, by science, and many people actually sticking with this concept that the longer the wavelengths, it goes deeper in the body. I mean, it should be by
Yeah.
science of optics, yes. However, in reality, it's not. What has deep penetration? It's purely near infrared light
And
because
that's the cool feeling because it
it,
reduces inflammation, right?
it's no feeling because all it's gonna do photostimulation of
Okay,
mitochondria.
okay.
It's not gonna give you heat inside the body, okay? And that's why we caution people when you have active inflammation, you shouldn't be using mid-range, far-range infrared because it will bring the heat up, inflammation up. Yes, but the reason why longer wavelengths not actually giving you deeper penetration is because that water, because it creates like protective layer at the surface of the skin and absorbs all that light with your water body. So
Mhm.
and that's why it does not really penetrate deep. But for therapeutics, if you want to affect your muscles, ligaments, tendons, bones, or even organs, you need that deep penetration. So out of the whole spectrum, the near infrared light is only the one which gives you this deep penetration.
So the near infrared. Okay.
Infrared,
Okay.
blue, green, red,
Okay.
all superficial.
All superficial. Okay. So there are three settings on the FlexBeam. And by the way, if you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, just click on my Shop Now bag. Actually, there's a pop-up that you can click on. There's a New Year's sale. Take advantage of it because they sold out after the first time that you guys this year that you guys sold out. Now you're like back at it again, and you're offering a special. And anybody who uses my code Lillian McDermott also gets an extra $10 off. This is what I was told that if it doesn't happen to you, you call me and I'll make sure that it happens. But there are three settings. So let me just show there are three settings. When I turn this on, what is setting number one? So I go right here. That's setting number one. Okay, so what is setting number one?
Settings number one, it's red lights, and you could see how brightly that red is, because primarily most of lights comes out of the LEDs is red. That means the absorption will be happen at the skin level.
Mhm.
It's normally within 1 centimeter into skin maximum, yes. But this is the one which is very good for any wounds, any problem with skin like dermatitis, eczema, wounds, scars. And yes, you heard me right, scars. It helps to remodel scars. And also very good for collagen because there is a big body of studies for red light therapy using red light. It remodels collagen and make it much more bouncy, healthier, better in quality. And that's why if you go on the internet, you will see there is a tons of devices. They're all cosmetic devices for the aesthetics because they discovered that it can optimize collagen. So this program one will be limited to the collagen, to the surface of the skin.
Okay,
And
and then I just want to show that it comes with, and I just got it over here, that it comes with some goggles so that you is it true that if you look at red light, it could hurt your eyes? Because I just heard some research that it said that you could use red light to improve your vision.
You're absolutely right. You could. There is again quite a few papers talking about red light, but please remember this FlexBeam is. We're probably going to talk about this why it's different. It's super powerful.
Mhm.
It's like any other device on steroids,
Yes.
really strong. And LEDs, there are few only LEDs, but they are very, very strong. And because they're strong, it actually quite painful to even, glance at it. So, of course, in every single daily life, you flip it and you move it, it's fine. But it's for some people which heard that like you should learn, you should stimulate your eyes with red light, and they look at it, it could be too much.
Mhm.
So we provide goggles because we don't recommend for the strength of the device.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, I've seen some made like a glasses, red light therapy devices for eyes. So yes, it could be used this way.
And I would think that because it penetrates the first layer, you can just close your eyes and it still would help. I'm just saying that with the research that I've seen, it looks like that this is something that we should look deeper into. I just want to start by saying that Dr. Zulia is not telling you what to do. This is not a doctor patient kind of deal. You do your own research. And what I love about the FlexBeam is that it gives me that flexibility to use one or the other, the different strengths. And so the level one, first of all, this is FDA cleared.
Yes, yes.
What is it FDA cleared as?
You should understand that LEDs compared to lasers are
Mhm.
inherently safe. They are so safe so that FDA said you do not need registration because you're safe. However, we submitted all the documents, lots of tests, like serious proper tests. And this is all to say that we have submitted paperwork for FDA, and FDA recognized that this device does not need classification. That's
Are there,
why,
oh, keep going, keep going.
yeah, that is why it's safe. You can use it. There are only few cautions you have to observe, and maybe we talk about this in a minute. But uh, apart from this, LEDs like in your home lighting, they are LEDs, just a bit strong.
Yes. Are there any contraindications? Anybody that
Um,
has a, let's say if somebody comes and they have a pacemaker, for example, or a plate on their brain where you can't have an MRI because you have a magnet, because it's a magnet. And so are there any contraindications with FlexBeam?
well, they are not. There are no contraindication. However, there are cautions. Of course, if you have health condition, specific, like very, very systemic, serious condition, or you take so many medications, so medication interacts inside your body. It can give you some weird reactions. Like sometimes people use and they feel like hangover, like detox next day. Yeah, it's a detox. It's a detox happening. Really, in our knowledge, there it's been can be used by children, can be used by animals, dogs, cats, horses, you name it, because it's safe. The only thing we always ask you when you deal with children or small animals, you need to reduce the exposure time. It comes with a guide. It tells you, how long to do it. Um, for the moment, we just say don't stare at it, and you have goggles. Like if you want to do for your facial, then program one, which I will just describe to you, you put the goggles on and you just expose to your face approximately 20 centimeters away, 10 minutes a day. Very good routine.
And this
Um,
stimulates collagen in the face and on the skin,
yes.
first layer. Okay.
First layer, the program one is for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we say don't put it on the head because it's really clunky. It's not designed for the head. And eventually we will have something which will be useful for the head as well. But for the moment, it's designed for the body.
I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, it makes a nice little bonnet for the holidays if you want the Easter holiday bonnet. But can you put it this close if you had it? And if, like, for people, again, research shows that red light therapy helps with hair follicles. So if people want to put this on their head, conceivably, if they don't mind the clunkiness of it, is it possible? Is it safe?
It's you can use it only in program one. Remember, you need
Only
to
program run. Yes, that's right.
only you need to target 1 centimeter into the skin, like half centimeter into skin. So this red light in program one can give you, but program two and program three, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, has near infrared light and it's very strong. That means the light can go through the skull and reach the brain. And if you use it on the head, these two programs, we do not know the dose, how long you should be stimulating for. That's why we don't recommend to put it on the head. And you know what it's like. You tell people, okay, you could do this, and then they say, oh, I can do whatever.
That's right. That's right. No, so I'm hearing you very clearly that the only time if you do want to do it for your head, only on program one, never beyond that, because the you haven't researched
Exactly.
the time, the length, and people. And I will tell you, when you told me about program one the first time we met, shortly after that, I fell. I fell on the Stairmaster. And I was holding on, and when you finish the Stairmaster, it kind of clicks and it stops. Well, mine didn't stop, and I fell, and my legs hit where the stairs come together, and I had a scar this long. And once I started the healing process, and of course I did a Vasia with it, but the area of the skin that was a scab this long is now about this big. And so what I do is I put level one on there or program one on there while I'm watching television or I'm relaxing or even while I'm working. I strap it around my leg and I put it on there. And little by little, that scar is gone. So I have about this much left. And so I just need to work with it a little bit more because I still have a scab. So is that something that I did okay? Or is that something that, what can I do to get rid of that extra scab?
It's exactly what you're supposed to do. If you have the scar inside your body deeper, then you need to use program 2
Okay.
because it's got the infrared light for deeper penetration.
Okay.
But otherwise, you're fine. And keloid scars, they are really horrible. So many people just suffering. Well, over a period of time, they fresher the scar, the more quickly you get the result. But the
Mhm.
old one too. Adhesions inside. Sometimes people have capsulitis in the shoulder, and it's all like an old unoiled machine. Yes. So again, then you need program 2. So effectively, program 2
Let's talk
here.
about program 2 and what it is and what are conditions that are good for it. Go ahead.
So program 2 normally it's a combination of infrared and near infrared light, and they're like 50-50. And it's also very interesting because in program 2 we modulate frequencies. And whenever you heard about frequency, you know this is really interesting concept because light is pulsed. And for the cell, when cell receives stimulus in pulsed mode, the cell become much more aware, much more awake. So that's why program 2 would be very good to use when you deal with something chronic. Yes, to wake up the cells, to get the cells to respond. And program 2 also uh, gives you deep penetration, deeper and superficial. So very good for small joints, like, with arthritis, for example, or another place on the body, Achilles tendon. Achilles tendon, it's very superficial. So program 2 would be good because it's got that 50% of red light. So it's gonna give you both centimeter and maybe 2 centimeters of depth. And this one, or maybe some ligaments around the knee. But if you want to get into the like cruciate ligament in the knee, you need deeper penetration. And for that, you need to go to resort to program number 3. Program number 3, it's mostly like 99%, it's near infrared light, which basically gives you the deepest penetration. This is the strongest program out of 3, and you should use it whenever you want to target deep, like hip joint, like for sciatica pain, you can use it on your glutes, or like shoulders or back, something, or deep inside the knee, deep inside shoulder, program 3.
Okay. So, with program 3, let's say somebody has a condition such as rheumatoid arthritis and they're taking medication. Is there any contraindication with the chemotherapy-like drugs that people are getting? Or if somebody has cancer, is there any contraindication with that? What would you say for someone who has cancer or going through cancer-like therapies?
Mm. It's fine, you can use it, but you have to be aware that if there is an actively growing tumor, this process where the cells completely go crazy, effectively, yes, so they multiply, multiply. So if you start shining and provide energy for these cells, you might stimulate the growth. So we do not recommend placing on the tumor itself. However, you can place it around, or better place on the areas like spine or abdomen. You're still going to energize the body, you're still going to get systemic effect, but you don't feed the tumor with energy itself. So you're probably wondering what is if people don't know about the tumor. Yes, typically it happens when the tumor at infancy, for example, and very often cancer cells, they have broken mitochondria. So they might be actually benefiting to repairing this mitochondria using lights. And there is a research for that. So like 50% paper saying it's beneficial, 50 say, be careful. So I always stay on the caution, be careful. If people take cancer type medication, it's fine, you can still use it. Just avoid the actual damaged area, the tumor area, but otherwise you can. In
What about if somebody's had surgery
mm,
and the wound has not healed? Like with Avasia, I put the Y bar or patches above and below the scar, not on the scar. When the scar has healed or it's come together and there's no blood or then I can put it on the wound. So how does this compare to that?
You can place it over the wound
Okay.
post-surgically, and in fact, I recommend you to use it as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay, that's
As
even
soon as
better.
people come out of the operation theater, they're in the ward, they can start using FlexBeam. Of course, at first, this will be bandage. So you can place it over and use program 2 because you need to get through the
Deepen.
bandage.
Mhm.
But if you worry that you somehow contaminate, you can just arch it a little bit. So the middle module will be top, yes, over the wound. And in this case, you don't have direct physical contact, but light's still going to speed up the healing. I've done a few cases, and you know, the difference is so significant. The edges of the wound become so clean, neat. There is no inflammation. Granulation's beautiful. I highly recommend to use it over the surgery to help the scar, but also to help pain.
Mhm.
Because surprise, surprise, we have probably, I mean, biggest part of our users use FlexBeam for pain relief. It's extraordinary. I mean, I know this because I had few times back pain and I used it. It does work for me, and I'm sure work for others people. But the point is that red light therapy research demonstrated that when you stimulate with lights, you improve the blood supply, and blood supply brings oxygen. So the tissues, the cells receive oxygen, they can breathe, and that when they suffocated, that's why it feels like ache, very unpleasant pain.
Mhm.
But it's got also anti-inflammatory effect.
Okay.
It stimulates production of anti-inflammatory cytokines, their messengers, locally, and reduce production of the pro-inflammatory cytokines. So it does two. You mentioned about rheumatoid arthritis. It's actually really, really good because when you have this, like a horribly inflamed wrists, yes, for example, with rheumatoid arthritis, and it's hot, very puffy, it's painful to touch, and you just wrap around the flex beam around this wrist, and you will see in 10 minutes of stimulation, you need to put it on program 3 or program 2. You could use both. And you could immediately see the puffiness goes down, pain goes down, and you just feel better. Just feels better. But it's not only sort of cosmetically feels better. You actually reducing the inflammation overall. I have the specific instructions. I call them protocols, and you can we created actually space for all our users to come and join, and you can download these protocols and follow the instructions to get the best results.
How many protocols do you have at this point for the FlexBeam?
Well, I think 60 for sure,
Mhm.
maybe more.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I tell you firsthand, when I fell, it was tough. It was tough on my right leg. And I know that the shin doesn't get a lot of blood supply, it doesn't get a lot of oxygen or whatever it is, your
Yeah.
ankles, your shins. And so I thought, oh my gosh, here we go. I mean, I could not wear, the scar was this, it was bloody and it was about this long. And when I really looked at it after using and I put it on top of it because you had mentioned it to leave it on, and I put it on top. And when I looked down, I don't even see a line where it happened. Usually, and I'm going to start working on this scar. I want to see if this, so this has improved dramatically. I don't know if you guys see it right there. And this right here was a grill. I had taken a grill out of the oven that was on 500 degrees, and I put it in the center island, and to put in because my house is gluten free, but the kids wanted pizza and they wanted gluten pizza, so I was trying to get the stuff one in and one out so that the food wouldn't get contaminated. And as I backed in, I heard the sizzle of 500 degrees. I was branded by my oven. And so I'm going to try using this because you still see a line. And
Yeah,
normally I get keloids, right? This should have been raised, but with Avasia, this is very, very smooth. I'm
yeah.
wondering what else could it do? What would you recommend for this scar right here, Dr. Zulia?
Right here will be program one.
Program M. Just keep it on program one. I'll just wrap it around. So they have little wraps and they have larger wraps. Let me just they have everything that you can imagine to help you be successful. They even have the cord. Let me just show you the cord that the power cord that you have has different outlets. So if you're in Europe, if you are in Australia, wherever it is that you have, whatever plug you have, there's like 5 or 6 different plugs that come with it so that you can travel with it. It's just amazing what you guys do. So this one is the shorter of the FlexBeam. I've been using the larger one because of my back. And the protocol for the sleep protocol before I put this FlexBeam on my back, I am so tired. I am ready for bed, and I'm having better night's sleep. I'm just getting my Velcro here. And so you just wrap it around and you put it wherever it is that you want to wrap it. So I can just walk around, mind my own business. The only thing, Dr. Frost, is that when you cannot cover this, right? It needs to be
Yes.
open. Explain a little bit more about the way it functions.
So I've got this mind, and I was just wanted to show how you tie it in the circle here. So yes, you could see those called the cooling sinks, and the LEDs they work so much because they're powerful, super powerful, and they get hot. So in order to cool down, this air comes out, and actually it's quite pleasant because it's just like and putting you to relax mode, but also it gives you like warmth inside your body. You don't heat up tissues, it's only superficially, and it's really calming, it's very pleasant. However, we must not cover this. And I know people do this because I'm guilty as well, because I would sit in the sofa and I just put it on my lower back, and it's like suffocated. Yes, when it gets suffocated, what's happening? It gets hot, and when it's get to certain degree, it's actually your protection. It's going to shut down. So suddenly you're there and you just 5 minutes through it say, oh, it's finished now. No, it's not problem with the device. It's the fact that you block the air from it, and you just need to let it breathe.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to get under the covers and put my flex beam on. And then I realize, oh, no, I can't. I just have to leave my leg out or whatever so that it will. So, wherever you put it in your body, just make sure that there's that ventilation that goes through. I love my flex beam and I want to encourage all of you to research it. Tell us about the money back guarantee, Dr. Zulia.
Yes, it's we revised recently the just previous year, and we give we're so confident in the product, so we give 60 days guarantee, 60 days, because first of all, in sometimes if you have a chronic condition, you need to evaluate a little bit longer. And so I would say you get results with same with rheumatoid arthritis. By 60 days, you will know definitely it's working for you, and then you keep it. So we confident in quality, and we have very little returns. Some occasionally, of course, they're like anywhere, maybe something goes wrong. But generally speaking, it's really well made. And so there is also warranty on the product up to 5 years. Yeah, the battery, only thing, the battery you need to service after 2 years, but all the
Yes.
rest is 5 years. And the device can be used by many people in the family, not just you. Like our is always somebody is using it.
Now,
um,
I've seen products with red light therapy, like the PEMF machine, or something else, but they use it with their clothes on. Is that even possible that it penetrates the clothing? I know that we need to put it on the skin. FlexBeam needs to go on the skin,
it does.
but does it make
So
sense to be clothed and it work?
no, it won't. I mean, it partially would work, but remember from physics of light, The black surface would absorb all the photons at the surface. It's a similar, like you walk on the beach in a black t-shirt and you feel heat from your t-shirt because energy all accumulated at the top of your t-shirt. And energy does not get through inside your body. Yes. So in this case, there is no benefit if you put this dark, whatever, you're wearing it, you just get hot. Um, However, it was very interesting. I had a therapist in Slovenia. He's a physiotherapist, and he treated his son, broke his arm, co-fracture of the arm, and it was in a cast. And cast is white color, like uh, covering for to
Hmm.
support.
Hmm.
He was putting FlexBeam over this cast, and it was healing like rocket. He just could not believe how fast it healed. So he used it through the cast. So there will be some element of absorption through clothes, especially if clothes is like white or neutral, like nude color. And I would say use the program 3 for that.
Okay, so that it goes in deeper, regardless
Yes.
of the clothing. Interesting information. And so this is the information that you see in the Lillian McDermott radio show classroom that has been censored for the last 4 years. And I'm grateful that hopefully whatever we say today won't be marked misinformation. And if they mark misinformation, I want to encourage you to do your own homework. Go to whenyounneedafriend.com and help now spread the word around that we have natural remedies for people that don't want to do the drugs or pills, or even though you're doing that, you could also complement it with more natural products so that you can mitigate some of the side effects that some of these pills give you. I'm just saying that do whatever you can to live the life that you want, but do it as naturally because that is sustainable. When you take a pill and it creates three other conditions, that will just promote that you take three more pills for those conditions. And the next thing you know, it's you're not getting better, you're just getting worse. So I want to encourage you to do everything you possibly can to do it as naturally as possible. And if that doesn't work, then do whatever, go to that next level. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying that just try small and work yourself up to big. And this flex beam is just unbelievable. So go to whenyounneedafriend.com. Just go to my shop now bag, or well, before you go there, please subscribe to my website, like and follow me on all social media. Hopefully, we'll have the entire show in Facebook, YouTube, but it also goes to BitChute. And so I want to encourage you to share this video. If you know anybody that would like to learn a different way to heal the body, share it. Share it with everybody. Share it on your Facebook page, on your YouTube channel. Share it with your friends because that's a way that you can help the classroom grow and help spread this information of natural health and wellness. And so while you're there, please check out my Shop Now bag. That's where there's a pop-up in the page, but if you see this outside of the day that we promote it, we premiere it, then just make sure that you go to my Shop Now bag, just in case the pop-up isn't there. Go to my Shop Now bag and then click on to the FlexBeam picture and see what the sale is for the day. But you get an extra $10 if you enter Lillian McDermott. If you enter the promotion code Lillian McDermott, you get an extra $10 on top of whatever is on sale at that day. I want to encourage you to check out all my other products that are designed for natural and healthier with no side effects. And Dr. Zulia said something about the detoxification. When you have junk in your body and you doing things that are healthy and good and loving to your body starts getting rid of this stuff. And then you might feel a little sick at the beginning because you're getting rid of these toxins that are in your body. But eventually, if you continue doing the right thing and cleaning your body up and cleaning the water that's in your body, you will feel amazing. I just want you to know that. Last but not least, you can become an enrolled student in the classroom. And whether it's $1 or $1,000 a month, sharing the video, putting emojis, making comments, that's just another way that you can help the classroom grow. And so I just want to encourage you to help out, whether it's your time, your talent, your treasure, in any way you can. I want you to know how grateful we are to still be around and still be here. Now we need to spread this information without fear that we will be shut down. And so I'm very grateful to you. And I'm very grateful to Dr. Zulia Frost. She's an MD as well as a doctor of Chinese medicine. And she is also an acupuncturist, certified acupuncture. And she is amazing. I want to thank you for taking a stand and stepping up and doing what you do, because you yourself, had it not been for your accident and your medical training, would have been just like everybody else's, but it made you curious to look at other options. And because of it, you're here talking about FlexBeam and red light therapy and, far and near infrared. I'm just grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lily.
Okay, so before I started talking about my show, and I just want you to know that all the FlexBeam information is below with the promo code and everything, so find it in the description. So before we go, I just want to talk about, how do you know the time and length by which you leave the product on? Because this shuts off after 10 minutes. And whether I do program 1 or program 3 or 2, it doesn't matter. So if I feel like I need more and I want a little bit more, can I leave it on there and leave it on there for 30 minutes? How does it work? How do I know when enough is enough?
This is, $100 question, because we all are different, and that is the key. However, I can give you guidance. The guidance is such, so if you have a fresh injury, let's say you just sprained the ankle and you tripped and there is a swelling, there is a really painful, you can't really step on it. Yes. So what I recommend you to do, place right around that ankle. But if there is something like a bigger joint or bigger area on the body, you can like put front and back. So it's 10 minutes and or 20 minutes. And you should repeat this 3 times a day. You can use it absolutely. If you're in very severe pain, like say you've done your back, so you can put the device in, or because it's a back on program 3, deep penetration of near-infrared light. Then lift it off and place again on the same spot in program 2. And again, so you double stimulate, yes? You could do it again 3 times a day, and that will give you pain relief. But typically, after 10 minutes, you should experience some pain relief and just improvement in your symptom. However, different story when we talk about something chronic. Chronic, it means it's been in your body for a long time. So when it's for a long time, then it means that you have these symptoms, periodically aggravated, then it's okay, periodically aggravated, and it's okay. So in this case, when you start using FlexBeam, remember you're going to give stimulation to your body with energy, and the body, when it receives energy, what do you think it wants to do? It wants to heal itself, okay? So the healing process starts, and very often you feel, oh, I feel my symptoms more just for the first period of time. And just keep doing it. You can make occasional breaks, but it's going to be only once a day application, okay? You do it once a day, every day, and maybe you do Monday to Friday, weekend off. Yes, I'm saying it so you could remember Monday to Friday, weekends off. You could do 1 day off, 2 days off. It's up to you. But the idea is that it's continuous stimulation, little break, continuous stimulation. Typically, you see after 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you should see the improvement in your chronic condition. We certainly, with my case studies, I have seen with people who even have a neuropathic pain, feet neuropathic pain, people with sciatica pain, people with skeletal muscular condition. Fibromyalgia, this is another one, really good. Fibromyalgia, even you could do without any breaks, just keep going every single day. But remember, when you deal with chronic condition, just local application is not enough. Especially, again, let's take fibromyalgia. It could be, different parts of the body. So then you need to put, for example, over the neck, over the shoulders, then over the legs. Yes. So you do a lot more placements. You could do 4, 5 even placement in one day, but then only once a day. Okay. And periodically break. So this is 2 scenarios for people with problem, and one more scenario for people who do not have problem. Like, for example, I have no aches and pain, but I want to improve my physical performance. I'm going to the gym. I'm paying for the membership. I want to maximum to use my body to get my fitness back. I can use my FlexBeam 1 hour before I go to my gym. I put over the muscles, which I'm going to be exercising. I'm going to go there and I'm going to smash my personal best. And next time I do exactly the same. You can prepare yourself for better optimal performance as well.
So in a situation like that, would you use level 2 or 3 when you're trying to for peak performance? Let's say I'm going to go
For
to the
peak
gym.
performance,
I'm going to work my arms. So I do my arms. Do I wrap it around my arms,
yeah.
wrap it around my legs, wrap it around my stomach? So is that what I would do?
Yes, and program 3, wrap around those muscles which are going to be exposed to most load. Like if you working out the top of your body, then it would be, over the shoulders, over the arms, upper back. If it's you running, then, quads, hamstrings, calves would be good to do.
Okay. So with that in mind, I just had plantar fasciitis. I remember the first time I met you, I said I had this pain in the bottom of my foot, and you said, "Well, put the ankle." I've been following the Avasia protocol for my feet, and I feel amazing. I do feel amazing. But when I was wrapping around my ankle, I think I was doing 3. I was doing 3. And then I noticed as I progressed with my healing, the pain was going higher into my calf. So I started bringing the flex beam higher into my calf. Is that okay?
That's absolutely perfect. This is classical because you should understand nothing happened in the body for no reason, like without spontaneously. The plantar it's a fascia at the bottom of the foot. Do you know, for it to be contracted and affected, very often the problem comes from low back and it
Mhm.
goes at the back of your legs. And very often, very tight cuff can pull on this through the Achilles tendon and can pull on fascia, which
Interesting.
is at the bottom. So you see, you intuitively follow exactly right thing.
Yeah, I
And
was listening to my body because our body is always speaking to us, and so I noticed and but it wasn't until I used both. I used because I was using the flex beam, but I don't know if I was using it properly. Once I started using the Avasia with the plantar fasciitis protocol, which is interestingly enough, the bottom of the foot and the lower back. And then you take the lower back patch and you put it behind the lower of the knee. That's how I was doing it. Plus, I was using this at the same time. I was using the flex beam around it. I was using it around my ankle. And like I said, I kept moving it like a little trombone. When it was done here, I still felt a little stiffness. I would put it in, and it feels so good. It feels so good. So, what advice do you tell somebody that is listening to us today and is going, yeah, I have pain all over my body because I have, maybe because they have a tick bite and they have Lyme disease? What can you say to someone who is in pain and that can be used for someone who wants to do the peak performance? What would you say to them?
well, you should just go ahead and start using FlexBeam because, first of all, if you have local point of pain, remember your brain will be focusing on this pain, okay? Because it's an area of active damage. So why not to give energy and your body can then fix it, yes? If you have systemic condition like Lyme, then you would need to do have systemic approach. And you will see in our forum, you will see there's lots of protocol showing how you place all down your spine. And then you can place all across your abdomen. For any autoimmune conditions, I highly recommend you to start with abdomen because it all starts from the gut. 30% of all our users, they buy FlexBeam 2 using particularly on the stomach because their good bacteria is light sensitive. And if you're thinking of Lyme, then you know Borrelia, it's also affect the gut quite significantly. So you would be using all over the body systemically. And if you're a performer, if you are athlete, honestly, you can improve the performance, reduce your post-training fatigue. Even if you use it 1 hour before, you still have a very little DOMS in the end, even though you push yourself. We have case studies to prove it. It affects your HRV. We have also case study to prove it that you become much more adaptable to training and you have deeper sleep. Again, we have case studies with Oura Ring to demonstrate the deep sleep aspect. So go ahead and use it and tell us your results.
And everybody has everything to gain. You have 2 weeks, 6 months to 2 months to learn about how this responds to you. Trust me, you won't want to get rid of it. You want to keep it. And I really am so grateful to you, Dr. Zulia Frost, for coming into the classroom today and explaining how to use this amazing machine. I'm looking forward to putting it on my head. Because when my friend was saying that she wanted to get it for growing hair follicles, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? And so all of us women with hormonal issues, we're going to get Dr. Zulia Frost back. Want to get her talking about hormonal issues and things that we kind of enter into as we get older. But for now, please go to whenyounneedafriend.com. There's either the pop-up or the Shop Now bag. Click on the FlexBeam logo and start your healing today. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you for coming out and sharing this wonderful information. And I'm looking forward to our next conversation.
Thank you so much, Lillian. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. Thank you.
Me too. Me too. And please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Dr. Zulia Frost wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Good job. Good job. Good job.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.